your host, Lee. I'm about to spit some bars up in here.
Yay, man.
Come up the room. It's me and my crew, JJ. Yeah. That's as far as I go. I'm not very good with freestyling, hey? I am not too good with the freestyle. But it wasn't too bad, Jess. What do you say?
Not bad at all.
That first line was good. Hey, it's me, Lee, in the stee with the crew. Hey. Jay, you need to help a sister out. Come on, don't be that person.
This man is walking around the studio looking for headsets. Yeah.
Ay.
So unprofessional, if you ask me.
Yes, Jess,
Yes,
I
Lock.
agree with you. But I'm joined here by you are now the one and only sidekick. Because Jay is not by the side anymore. You see what I mean? He's in front of me. So you are my next door neighbor. Jay is my opposite neighbor. Hello, next door neighbor. Good morning.
Hello, sister. How are you doing?
Leka Jay.
Leka. But good morning to all the viewers out there. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
It's a lekker hot one today, eh?
It is very hot.
Yeah, no, after all the rain we've been having, it's nice to have some sun. I need a bit of a tan in my life.
What are you getting today?
I'm not make sure.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yes, do you know this track?
Whoa.
Nah, Chase not on.
Chase, you get this mellow vibes because you're the mellow guy. You know what I'm saying?
Guy.
So you just like there with that low
Sing over
vibes.
it, bro. Sing over
What?
it.
Sing
over it. Yeah,
okay, play it again.
Play
Come
it
on.
again. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Come on now.
Yeah, you must close the eyes. You sing
You
better.
have to.
Yeah.
I feel it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a beautiful show today.
Oh.
We're chilling out here. Jay behind the cam. Clayton in the paddock.
Yay.
Yeah, make it rock.
Hey.
Yeah, all the birds flock.
I love to see it. I love. If you are not, if you have not been put in a mood, then I don't know.
Hi.
Then nothing can get you in the mood.
Hi.
Hey? You need Jezzo on that soft track.
You know?
And then I will come through with the, what do you call it? That scratch. You just
What do you call that? I don't know what.
Yeah.
that's what it's called. That's what it's
I will
called.
just keep it there. We'll keep it there.
But
yeah, if you are looking to hire me, I charge 30 an hour.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
No,
more
that's
than
just your
welcome.
call out fee.
Yeah.
30,000 is the call out
No,
fee.
you are a bit ridiculous now. My call out fee is 10,000 and then the show is 30,000.
Oh, okay, no. I'm glad, Jess, you catering you know in the midst of the pandemic you want to still cater to people's pockets.
Yeah.
And that's why you
know what?
You're reducing your prices
You know
because
what?
you're actually worth so much more.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yes.
When you have the talent, you can't underprice.
You can't.
You can't.
Yes, but you
So-
also need to be considerate.
True, but I'm of those in London and in Santon and that.
Oh,
yeah, you know.
okay. Yeah, those who
They-
have money.
Yeah, they usually
The
book
rich
me.
that got richer.
Yes.
Oh, you perform
Okay.
in cafes that side.
No. House events.
House events
house
only.
events.
Yeah,
Only.
I'm fully booked now. Valentine's. They called me out a few times there. So,
When's the EP dropping?
yo, the EP.
Yeah.
Just give me another 2 years.
Come on.
I'm still writing a few tracks down.
Yeah.
They say good things take time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey.
Yeah. So
Can't wait.
still working with
so
my
that's
vocal
in 2024.
coach. Yes, still working with my
Okay.
vocal coach on a few things.
Lovely, lovely.
So I'm basically the guest
But
here
you,
today.
literally, are we having a full-on interview?
Yeah.
But anyway, good morning, Jay. Paris.
What's happening? Good morning.
Oui.
Good morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday.
Yeah, you also have mellow.
yo.
Let's see if you can beat me.
Some lo-fi vibes. Sure.
Can you rap
Yeah.
on this track? Let's see how diverse you are.
Come on now.
Because
Yeah.
I'm very diverse.
Yeah.
You are.
Hey, it's about to drop. Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
So I was sitting on my bed last night, Watching the sky, stars shine, it gets green with you. I visualize kind of thought something sweet, like your sweet lips. Think about how to feel if you give me a kiss. It's so precious. Ain't nobody change the way I love you and the sweet little things that I say. We cruise round the block, look at the sunshine. I can't help but smile when I think my show smile, cause you give me weak in the knees. Look at what I see, my soul look up. I provide what it needs to be. L-O-V in every little thing that you need. I'm a soldier, you can rest your head on me. Won't be quick to bust if you cuss with me. If I never wake up and never see the sun, just know that you're my one and only number one. Whensday morning. Whensday morning.
You heard it here first.
But he wrote that. I freestyle. It shows how diverse I am.
Wednesday morning.
Hey.
What's happening?
But Jade, be honest, the freestylers, when they say they freestyle, is it really freestyle or is it just like
So.
Is it stuff that they have in the archives?
Most of them it's stuff in
but
the
there's
archives.
some guys
there's some that can from the top.
From the top of the dome, there's
What's
some
that
guys that's insane.
that one channel on YouTube where the guys like they battle it out?
Yo, there's a lot. What like underground battles?
Yeah, I remember the
But
one
even-
that I watched.
even
There was
with the
Andy
underground
Mineo was
battles,
there.
They write
and,
it. The cipher.
Cypher.
Are you speaking about like the, I don't know, 7 minutes with Sway? Something like that.
Okay,
Nah,
but
there's a lot. But
there's
still,
a lot
even on
of-
there, some of them write. Well, most of them write. Even these underground battles, they write now.
Nah, facts.
Yeah.
Bro. To spit from the
yeah,
dome
but
like
you,
that, bro.
and the thing is, you don't want to come out looking like a pop.
Yeah, now
But
you
it's
come
cool if
there.
you write though, because if it's your bars, it's your bars.
Yeah.
It's my bars.
And also they
But
do
it's
a lot of...
freestyling because you don't know what the beat gonna be like. Let the beat drop. Drop that beat.
But even with that ciphers, they don't even use beats most of the time. That deep ones where they angry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take my girlfriend from me. I'll
Take.
show you. Yeah.
Take.
yeah. What if I take?
But anyway, thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday warm-up. I don't know
Yes.
how many degrees it is there outside, but it
Yeah,
is hot.
but here
It is hot
inside
in
it is now
Johannesburg,
20.
South Africa.
Inside is very cold.
Yeah, inside we've got 22 degrees Celsius, but it's not that cold, Jess. Come on, man.
It's not, yeah. But you know what?
But you see, this is why it goes to show how spoiled we are here in South Africa with our weather,
Yeah.
right? But we haven't been really experiencing summer like how we know summer to be.
Yeah, it hasn't been the same. We've had
We
a
haven't
rainy
really-
season for 2 months now.
Yeah.
Straight rain.
Floods and bad,
All
but
these
still
things. But it's good. The
it's
the
okay.
valley is
It's not
getting
too bad.
full.
Yeah.
And we have water.
That's true, and that's what we need. I mean,
Yeah.
our electricity is going to be cut again soon, so we need water
Oh,
at least, you know.
lots.
I
real.
heard. So yeah, in South Africa,
new
our fuel
year.
prices went up last night
Again?
by 53
Really?
cents. Yes,
Yeah, if I knew it, I was gonna put more in.
at midnight, fuel prices went up. I think it's by unleaded 53 cents, and diesel was 80 cents. I'm speaking under correction,
What's this
obviously.
thing they said a few weeks ago that it's gonna come down? Now it's gonna went up.
No, apparently it did go down.
Also, they don't advertise going down.
No.
Just going up.
No.
It's going down, but like it's a makeup to breakup situation.
Yes. It's just like, guys, it's going down.
To go up!
Yeah,
Yeah!
And then they
Going down by
announced
10%, 10 cents, and then up by 53 cents.
53 cents. So fuel prices,
One step
unleaded.
3 steps back.
So unleaded is currently over 20 rand a liter
But remember, I
per
called
liter.
it.
You did call it.
Thank you very
And
much.
diesel is also over 20 rand per liter. Obviously, diesel burns longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Slower.
This
Slower.
man's getting cold
Slower.
there, yo.
No, I'm good.
And then Eskom also announced that they're
They
under
also-
pressure, so we're going to be experiencing rolling blackouts because this was no longer load shedding.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
it's a
noticed.
fancy
It's,
word now.
yeah, rolling
Upgrade.
blackouts. So we're going to be experiencing rolling blackouts until next week Monday, I think. So guys, check your schedules.
So when does it start?
Today.
Yeah.
So obviously we know businesses that operate with generators.
And the show is Do we know if he's going off?
So we're putting that out there because currently, guys, business is under pressure. So we don't know if we will have a show, but the show must go on.
Yes.
No, the
Yes.
show
Let
must
them
go
know.
on. Yes, you heard it here first. Speaking of you heard it here first, social media allows us to hear it here first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now we're getting to the juicy stuff, y'all. We're talking about the topic today is the power of social media to make and or break you. So guys, I want to ask you the question first and foremost. Do you ever have a fear, like even if it's not like a debilitating fear, but do you ever have a fear that something can land up on social media that can make or break you?
I do. I do. Literally every time I'm at home and I'm on the toilet, I have that fear. When I'm on the toilet, I put my phone under a t-shirt or something just to make sure the phone's not recording. I'm not on a live by mistake or something.
That's actually a thing, bro.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I know of someone. She was arguing with her daughter, but she didn't know she's on Facebook Live. I didn't know how she got on Facebook Live, but she was on Facebook Live arguing with her daughter on the toilet. But luckily you couldn't see much. And then her son actually had to call and say, do you know you're on Facebook Live? And we actually can see what's going on there. You're on the toilet, whatnot. And yeah, that's my fear first of the toilet.
The toilet?
And my own phone. Then the other one is because I stay in apartments. And the window's open. People that's like on top there, they can see into the toilet. Not necessarily through, but when it's open, you can basically see. Even if, because it's in the bedroom, even if the curtains is open and stuff, those people that stay, I can see in. So I always have this fear of someone recording me while I'm on the toilet and me not knowing, and this thing's going viral now. Ooh. That's one of my biggest fears. So literally every time I go to the toilet, I close the curtains. I close the curtains. I close the thingy. And the worst thing is when I close the window, the whole house ends up stinking. So
you just can't win, eh? Like they don't want to see you win.
The other day, Kayla's parents were there, and she came into the room saying, "Yeah, open the window because we can smell everything here inside." And I was a bit embarrassed.
I'm sure the family's sitting there like.
So you blame it on
the plumbing.
My house, so I say I can't use a toilet when people's here in my house.
When people are there by me, I try not to.
I won't.
And that time was a bad one because my stomach didn't go out for like 2-3 days.
Yo, pile up, eh? Pile up. And you, Jay, do you have any of those fears?
Yeah, I think the toilet one first and foremost, but I think overall I'm like super OCD with everything, and even my phone in particular. Like my apps are always swiped up. Swiped up as well.
You always keep your phone clean and neat.
So it's clean. Yeah. So I don't know. It must be like a drastic slip up if something takes place. But for the most part of it, swipe the apps.
Have you ever had something though?
Nah, not yet.
Yo.
Okay, not.
Guys.
I cancel that in
not
Jesus'
ever.
name. Not ever.
Let the devil know not today, not now, not ever.
Not ever. However, my baby bro uses my phone as well from time to time. So I think maybe like that something could take
slip
place.
up.
Yeah.
That's how I also feel because when he has our phone.
That's the thing with kids.
Yes, and you walk around. Now and then you'll see he's like in the videos and stuff like that. And sometimes he actually sends stuff to people.
Or he calls. Just
yeah.
now you are here in a roller ray and you're saying calls or whatever the kid calls. You fighting with your mother. You.
I always think of that. Yeah, it's like, that's one. He's going to take me out one day on the toilet, on a live, Instagram live, walking around. You just see me here.
But having said that, guys, do you think that it has made us more conscious of our behavior?
Yes.
Not just like obviously with the toilet, but I mean when we
general.
see what's happening on social media and how quickly it goes viral, literally with a click of a send, it goes viral. On your story, this person posts it, that person posts it. So there's no control over it. Once it's out,
out.
It's out. They say
Even
that
if you
it's
try and
out
delete
forever. It stays there. So do you think it has made us more conscious, or at least it should have made us more conscious of our behaviors? But what do you think? What is the trend that you're seeing after all of this is like the fact that you see how people's lives get ended, which we'll get into. We'll make an example of somebody quite recently, a very famous person. But it's supposed to make us more conscious. But what do you see the trend? Do people still just
yes and
catch
no.
on?
Yes and no, because
And
we
the
see things on the
authenticity
daily.
then, and therefore it makes. Do you think it makes us more unauthentic because now we have to constantly?
That's what I was about to say. You always notice it when it's a bunch of friends, we're talking. Yeah, bro, did you see that? Yo. Then someone takes a phone out. Yeah, no, you see, like the whole situation here. We busy chilling now, guys.
Hey,
we having a
guys.
good time. In the video, yeah, like
Everybody-
I was saying that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like the whole attitude changes. You aren't the same anymore. The voice somewhat changes also.
Yes.
It's like you're not being you anymore.
Yeah.
You literally just become someone else as soon as that camera comes on. You change your whole attitude. You change your whole vibes. And it's just not you anymore. Until that video's off again. Or until your bra puts his video on again. And then the whole... literally everyone. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
Where... Even girls, they'll be talking, yeah, no, then they see,
Someone touch the
someone
hair.
touch the hair and playing around and stuff. It's like,
No, you
come on, man.
something like that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like becomes lock.
Yeah, lock.
I was, it's like, Yari, no, you can't run it. Yeah, so actually, but it's
Just be
true.
you. Just be you. Because now you're giving a different side of you.
Yes.
And then when I now meet you in real life, it's like, but who are you now?
It's
not
not
just adding
it's
up.
not make sense, eh?
Yeah.
It does not make sense.
Che, you said yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no, bro. Because going back to the question, we still see, a lot of tragic stuff on a daily
Happening,
on
yeah.
social media, like the one we will be discussing in a few. I mean, I don't know how did that guy let that slip?
But he didn't know her, so.
But that's social media for you today,
But
bro.
that's what I'm
Whether
saying.
you know or don't
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
you never know who's out here capturing
But that's
something.
literally what I just said. When the phone's out, that will never happen.
Yeah.
It will never happen until it's hidden away somewhere.
Yes.
Just to catch you out.
Yeah. But isn't there a law that prohibits that kind of, like, in terms of evidence? If something is done like undercover and
Yeah.
you were not aware of it, is there not like some kind of law that prohibits
think
that to be
so.
accepted as admissible or inadmissible evidence? It's called inadmissible evidence. Like if it doesn't stand in the court of law because it was done without the other person's knowledge.
Consent, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
be-
it depends on the situation.
Because the situation is so tragic and so forth on, I don't think people like kind of look past.
So let's get into
we can
I'm recording someone who admits a murder. Yeah, he doesn't know I'm recording.
yeah, that you can't use. It won't stand in court.
For real.
No, it won't. It won't be accepted as evidence because the person didn't know. So there are instances like that. Although I know that if one person is aware of the recording, so say for instance you are present in the room, there's some law like that. If you are present in the room and you are recording, it holds merit to some degree.
So the guy
Maybe-
can kind of defend
In the
himself.
comments, if you're listening.
Yeah, if
and
you know anything
anything,
about this
educate us,
situation,
please.
please educate us. Let us know if the evidence will be like admissible, accepted, or if it's inadmissible evidence that if you record somebody without their knowledge or consent. But let's get into the story of Manchester United striker Mason Greenwood, the 20-year-old who has recently come under fire for the sexual assault and physical assault of somebody who I think it was his former ex-girlfriend, or it is, they don't say girlfriend. In many of the articles, they just say that it was a student. an 18-year-old student. So he's 20 years old. The victim in this, the alleged victim in this situation, is a 18-year-old, and she basically posted on her social media platforms about the abuse. So she posted pictures of the marks, the abuse marks on her body, and her nose was bleeding at one point. She posted that, and then there was an audio that was also released, so with the sexual assault, where he basically forces her to, I don't want to use the word because of our sensitive viewers, but to be intimate with him,
Catch vibes.
sexually intimate with him.
Vibes.
Yeah, and so it starts off, that audio that I heard, it starts off by saying, "Open your legs." Like, he's very abrupt with, and she's like, "No," and then he's swearing at us. Obviously we couldn't play it because under 18, this is a family channel. So yeah, he swears at her, and then she says, "I don't want to have intercourse with you," and she uses the other word, and he's like, "No, you will." And she says, like, "You have to ask me like nice," and he's like, yeah, obviously I'm paraphrasing, "Yeah, but I did ask you nicely, and now what must I do because you don't want to?" So that is also sexual assault. And then recently he's been further arrested. I don't know also what that means. All the articles say he's been further arrested. So I guess it means extra charges are held against him, because he's currently kept in police custody. And remember, after a certain, is it 48 hours? If you can't find any evidence, then you have to release them. So now new accusations were brought up against him. I think that's what they mean by further arrested. Yeah. And it says that he has been further arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and threats to kill, as the police were given a 4th day to question the 20-year-old. So the forward was initially arrested on Sunday afternoon on suspicion of the rape and assault of a young woman, after social media images and videos were posted online. That's important. After social media images and videos were posted online. Firstly, we know that his career is completely tarnished. So young. Oh, what do you guys think about that? And also, do you think it would have been to such... If this wasn't posted on social media, do you think his club, Manchester United, would have kept things on the down low? They wouldn't, because it says that they've suspended him until further notice. Obviously, there's an ongoing investigation, so they cannot make any big moves yet, because it is just on suspicion. It's alleged. It's not actual. There's no concrete evidence, and he hasn't been charged with anything yet. So, do you think if it weren't for social media, and this was not blown up so big on social media, that because he lost his FIFA 22, he was taken off FIFA 22. Nike
took their sponsorship away.
Most of his sponsors are, they just with immediate effect, they just retracted that contract. And then also some major players unfollowed him on social media. But do you think if it weren't for that this was not publicized on social media, do you think it would have had a smaller scale of an effect on his career and on his image than now? And what do you think in general about this? You guys are footballers. I mean, as a football lover yourselves, if that were you, man, what would you do?
Che, you wanna go first?
Hey, bro, I think it's a really sad situation because, like we said, first and foremost, the guy is a superstar, bro. 20 years old, futures ahead of you, and so forth.
And you're playing for one of the biggest teams in the world.
Yeah, if not the biggest. So for me, it's like, hey, bro, you weren't thinking. You weren't thinking at all. I mean, stuff like that to take place, it's a no first and foremost, obviously. But yeah, I think his football career is doomed. I don't think fans would accept him. I don't think the club would accept him after what he did. Like you said, a lot of professional big players unfollowed him already. So I think he's done and dusted. He's done and dusted.
Jess?
I think the whole social media thing did push it a lot. Because, I mean, we're sitting here in South Africa, and when it happened, the news came out immediately, and everyone knew Mason Greenwood done this, done that. where if social media wasn't around, it would have been on a much smaller scale. Just maybe in his community then or something like
Yes.
that. Not necessarily worldwide.
Yeah.
The only time it would have become, I think, worldwide is if people start asking questions, why is Mason Greenwood not playing anymore?
Yeah.
Where is this boy now? And then obviously it will come out now once people start asking questions and all that things.
But because of social media, bro, do you think there is a thing of not would be just in his community? I think social media in general, it's either, especially you as a person, if you that stature, that
Yeah.
figure of a person, I don't think it would just stay in.
I think so first, bro, because I think as the club, they'll also try to protect themselves in terms
Yeah.
of trying to keep it quiet. I'm just saying now how I feel at this point in time. They'll try
Because
and
the
keep-
club name
because
also gets
it gets
tarnished.
tarnished as well, yes. Especially if they're not doing
Yeah.
anything about it. That's why once it happened, they had to make that statement immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they made a statement after the first statement to say the first statement was something about they just checking the vibes to see that I'm putting it in my own words.
Yeah,
Just checking the
nice,
vibes
cool.
to see how things are going. Then the second statement that they made right after that was he's suspended from training and he won't be back at the club until
Further
further
notice.
notice. Yes, that
Well,
was
until
the
the
second.
investigation
Yeah,
wraps
it's-
up.
yeah, and that's why I feel like it would have just been within there, because of yes, they have audio, but obviously they're probably looking for something more concrete to say, okay, he actually did do this, so they can once something concrete comes out, then it would have been spread
Yeah.
in terms of.
Another
not
thing
having
is
social media.
legally, because this there's that one thing like I've when I watch Crime and Investigation and I watch those because Jess, you and I we like
Yeah.
watching those things, and when it comes to the evidence also, if something is made public like that, it could also affect the case, right?
100%.
So that could also then look what social media does, right? As much as it can make or break the person, it can also make or break a case.
Yes. 100%.
So,
I
for
was about to
instance,
mention that.
if evidence is leaked to the public, it doesn't have this obviously, guys, like I said to you, I'm not a law expert, and if we do have any legal minds in our
Our chat box.
chat box or even after the show, please let us know. We'd like to be educated on this. This is what the Insight Show is all about. We gain insights from you gain insights from us where we can. So I think there is a law like that if the evidence gets leaked, basically it doesn't hold that much weight within the court of law. So this audio tape that was now leaked to the public, and that's the reason why mainstream media, there's also clauses and there's restrictions and boundaries. That's why mainstream media can't just publish a story, right? If they get a scoop, like say for instance, 'cause that's what I was going to say, if it weren't for social media, mainstream media would have covered it, but this would have been when the case was progressed, when it progressed further. So if they caught a scoop of it and the case is ongoing, they can only report certain things. So they would not be able to release the audio clip, tape.
'Cause it's
They
basically
would
seen as evidence for
tampering
them.
of evidence,
yeah.
or not necessarily tampering of
just
evidence,
like
but
they keep
leaking
it, yeah.
evidence. So they would have to keep it until the investigation, and even then there's certain laws that restricts you or prohibits you from releasing those clips. But the fact that what social media does is, for the victims, the true victims of crimes like this,
Yeah.
and with gender-based violence, you see the uptake of, like we spoke about it the last time, the Me Too movements and women coming out and saying that they were abused. But now what it also does is it waters down the cause, because it could be staged, like that guy, what's his name, Zach, the NFL, the ex-NFL player. I can't remember his name. But anyway, last year, November, it came out that that video that was released of him beating up his baby mama, right? And he said that it was staged. But obviously, you're looking at that and you're like, how could that be staged? You know what I'm saying? So, but then you get a situation like the last time we also spoke about it.
There's even the Neymar situation.
Yeah, what happened with Neymar?
Neymar was accused of rape, And then there was actually a video that came out that proved him innocent.
Yo.
And that video actually saved his whole career.
So there we go. It's clear evidence how social media can make or break you, because in some cases when a victim goes, let's say for instance to report abuse, a real victim now goes to report abuse, the legal institutes, the police system in many countries, they don't believe them, they don't take it seriously. It takes time to escalate to actually going to court and those kinds of things. But with social media, what the plus side is, it happens now. When people make a noise about it, there's going to be powers that be are going to be put under pressure to do something about it. But now on the other side is you have people like in the case of Neymar, where he is falsely accused, where social media can also save you. If it shows that, but I wasn't even here at this time and place, and you know what I'm saying. So that's what it can do. But personally, to your own image, it can make you, and it might not even be someone else, you can make or break you. And that goes to saying, how are we consciously living on social media? Because do we just post whatever we feel like posting? We rant how we want to rant because it's used. I mean, Twitter is used for that. And that can make or break you.
It's like Logan Paul, a YouTuber. He was one of the first YouTubers to reach, I think it was 10 million subs in the quickest time.
Yes.
And he was booming. He was doing the most out there on YouTube.
He was.
Literally getting followers every single day. Millions of followers. And the money was coming in a lot.
He was buying
houses, buying the G63s, called it a Yeti. All that, living his best life, giving his friends Rolexes and all that things. Until the one day he decided to go to Tokyo.
Japan.
Yeah, Tokyo, Japan. And he decided to go to the suicide forest in Japan. And so the whole plan for that video was for them to camp out in the forest, because they said apparently the forest is haunted because it's one of the places where people go to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And they hang themselves on the trees there. So they say the forest is haunted. So they wanted to spend a night there to see if it's actually true. And while they were there, at night time, they actually found a body hanging. And he went and actually started recording the body. And people were like, he's so, what's the word?
Inconsiderate. He's showing, apathetic.
Yeah, he's showing how the body's just hanging there. Although he did blur it out and stuff. Yeah. But he says it's not right what they were doing. And it got cancelled same time.
Yeah.
As soon as he dropped that video, right after that, YouTubers started making videos about him, saying, how can he do this? People started commenting on the video saying, you're so stupid, how can you do stuff like this? He started losing subscribers, like a hell of a lot of subscribers. And from there, he just never really recovered how... Well, he's still doing very well with his podcast and stuff. But from there, he hasn't really posted on his actual Logan Paul YouTube page.
Yes.
He usually goes... Yeah, he hasn't been doing vlogs anymore because of that. And I think because of that situation, I think he's scared to actually come out with something now.
Yes.
That might just tarnish his name again.
But I think it also.
But it did mature him.
Yeah, I was just about to say it impacted him in a positive way, because if you look at him now, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
he reinvented himself.
He did. It helped him a lot because he was this young boy, very immature, running around, catching on nonsense in different countries, making people dumb and stuff like that.
You know what? I think that was his saving grace, actually.
It was.
Because he could have done, because with vlogging, you've seen vloggers catch on real stupid things and illegal stuff for the sake of content. And that's what social media, the pressure to please, that's what social media does. It forces us to create this world. We said many a times it's unauthentic because we want to post what people want to see.
Yeah.
So we post this glamorous life, or we post ourselves like for vloggers or whatever, doing these weird and wonderful things, and they literally stage their lives in order to get followers. But in the typical case of Logan Paul, what he saw, even with the Ace family, when news started coming out about like there's dodgy things happening there was also sexual assault accusations against his brother or something.
Yeah, there was with his brother, and then with him as well. There was a mistake where the I don't know if it was a mistake or if the editor done it on purpose to expose them.
Yes.
But where the editor actually left some footage in where he's being so rude to Catherine, which is his wife.
Yes.
Where he tells her, just shut up, give me the camera, stuff like that. And then that footage was leaked first. Then they released the proper footage after that, the actual video, and that all that stuff is cut out, and he's just like happy and stuff in the video. So there was like that whole argument.
Say it like this.
Yeah, he was saying,
you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong, say it like this, and he was shouting at her, and she also with the kids. Then they were saying, are they really like that with the kids, where the child comes and she's like, get off me, don't sit here by me, just go away, stuff like that. And then that footage was leaked as well. So, and then they released the actual footage again where that whole piece was cut out, and then she actually calls the kid to come sit by her and stuff like that. So
but then again, you can use that to your advantage also, because it's like not to cover up, but to show the people that, this is also a side of us.
But it won't work if you portray this perfect image.
From the onset.
Yes.
And it also doesn't help when you have rape cases against you, because his brother and his father apparently have rape cases against them.
No, that's whack.
Like, we were speaking about it, even the Man City footballer Benjamin Mendy as well.
But
all
he
those
was found guilty.
I don't know what's up with these
those rape cases that came out. And I think like the more famous, and here's the thing, another thing is social media makes ordinary people famous.
Yeah.
Right? On a level of celebrity status. So obviously the spotlight is always going to be on you by choice, because we choose for the spotlight to be on us. So now to live up to this continuous standard, and I think we've all been put under this. I mean, even if it's as insignificant as feeling the pressure on the toilet, it's still pressure. Like because there's constantly eyes on you. It's no longer just like the only one that can judge me is God. No, everybody can judge you, because if things must go viral, bruh, you are going to be judged. And for me, I felt like...
Put on a suit to go to the bathroom. See Jesse's suit.
But I feel like you can also use it to your advantage. Like, if something that you don't know about goes viral, like you sitting on a toilet or something.
Yeah.
Because we know someone, Tamlin, who also went viral with the... remember they done that... you in the past and you now, whether you had to put your pictures together, basically how you look back then and how you look now.
Yeah.
Like basically the glow up type of a thing. And she put a picture of herself and a picture of how she looks now.
Yeah.
And back then she was a bit darker in complexion, and she was a bit
Twitter.
chubby and stuff. Yeah, on Twitter it was.
Yeah,
and that went to Facebook as well, and it started going on Facebook as well.
Casper Nyovest even commented on that.
What?
Yeah, where it actually went. And when
she blew up.
She blew up.
Overnight.
She was literally overnight. People even, like the comments were like, how do you... She grew up so much that she even her skin color got lighter and what's like that. And when Zayka actually asked us, how did that make you feel? Then she said she didn't like it because of the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we were saying we understand that, but you don't always have to necessarily look at the comments. You can use that to your advantage actually, and then you run basically on social media, piggybacking off that post.
Yeah.
And make basically a video of that and just continue going.
Like that's what Logan Paul did, and I feel like in a culture like ours, cancel culture, right, where you can literally be cancelled in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The way that you come back is important.
Yeah.
100%.
Because also you mustn't come back, how can I put it, like when you, not genuine. What is that? Like, don't be, is it disingenuous? But don't be.
Same with that person at the concert, that artist.
Yes,
that came
exactly.
Back, but he came back.
He wasn't sincere. Yeah. There was no sincerity. There was no remorse for your crimes. Well, your social media crimes, because many of the crimes that are committed that people get cancelled for are not crimes as such. But your comeback is so important.
Yeah.
But speaking about social media, I did another survey on my personal Instagram. Go and follow me. It's @Leandra_Boysons. Putting the plug out there.
Plug myself.
Our social media handles are in the description below, so do go and follow us. Myself, Jezzo, Jay, and the Inside Show. So look here, guys. I I did an Instagram survey. I asked 3 questions and this was the results. So which social media app do you use most? The majority of people said Instagram. There was one person that said WhatsApp. There was one person that said YouTube. And there was one person that said Pinterest. Right? So most people use Instagram. And the truth of the matter is, for me, now recently, because I used to get most of my information on Twitter, but I just like left that world completely because that is a toxic world. That is O toilet for me, right? It's the equivalent of O toilet. So I do not like Twitter. I stay away from Twitter. So Instagram is where I get most of my information, although I don't spend that much time on Instagram, I must admit. But I would say mainstream media is still my main source of information, and then also YouTube for me. Yeah. And then I asked, are any of the main social media apps your primary source of information or news? 92% said yes, and 8% said no. Do you easily believe everything you see or hear on social media? 13% said yes, and 87% said no. But the reason why I put easily believe and then I put the asterisk, easily, consciously or subconsciously, because the truth of the matter is, and this is why I answered, so I'm going to ask you guys this, which social media app do you use most?
YouTube.
YouTube for you. Jay?
The app I use the most is probably Final Cut Pro.
Wow.
No social media app, Jay.
I'm tripping. Probably all of them balanced out, but YouTube is the main one. But it also depends. Like we're speaking about Twitter, I don't think Twitter's all bad.
Yeah.
It depends how you navigate, because I'm football Twitter.
Okay.
So everything I
Your
get
algorithm
is
is
it's just football,
yeah.
Liverpool, the updates and so forth on.
Yes.
But mainly YouTube.
Okay, cool. And then are any of the main social media apps your primary source of information or news?
Not definitely.
Yeah, you see things here and there, Facebook.
That's
and all
how
these
you
things.
learn about. Like
Exactly.
that's how
Everything.
I learned about the Mason Greenwood
Yeah.
story
For me,
on
everything.
Instagram.
Where else do you get news, bro?
I have Bloomberg on my phone.
ENCAJEWN. Also on 702. I listen to 702 in the mornings and in the afternoons.
So a lot there. But most of the time I see it on Facebook.
And then do you easily believe everything you see or hear on social media? I mean, even if it's subconsciously, even if it's just like you see it and you're like, yo, that's true. Or don't you?
It depends.
Yes or no?
So now what we do is we interlink the social medias. We on Twitter, we see, okay, like now recently.
I mean, when you first, that's what I'm saying.
first
When
when
you
you
first
read it,
see
when-
it. Not still going
Oh,
to
not
go.
to go-
Even subconsciously. Remember, we're not talking about
Nah,
just
then nah.
consciously being present in that. Do you easily believe it?
No.
Do you easily believe
Yo,
it?
that one's difficult. There's times when I'm honest,
Percentage.
there's times when I do easily believe it. Then there's times I'm like, lies.
Yeah.
It's like,
There's certain
lies.
things where you're like,
Yeah, like when you see COVID things nowadays, you're like, lies.
yeah.
Then when you see something like a Mason Greenwood, you're like, Ish,
Yes,
this guy,
yes,
man,
yes.
Why is he doing this? It's like, okay.
Facts.
So for me, I do subconsciously, I easily believe what I hear or see on social media. Because let's take, for example, if you see like somebody looking a certain way, if you don't know that person personally, you can't say whether that is photoshopped or not.
Yeah.
Like extremely, you think that this is how this person looks.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I say, are we easily deceived into believing that this is the truth? Or if we see people posting at like a big house or whatever, the first thing I think is, it's their house.
Yeah.
So for me, the answer is yes. I am easily deceived when I easily believe people. I use deceive because it is deception. I'm easily deceived into believing that this is the truth. Until, like Jay said, then you go,
And do research or
yes,
something.
that's what I do before I even post anything. Like, for instance, remember that time when it was the Black Lives Matter movement and everybody was
Yeah,
posting
the
the
black-
black squares? In situations like that, I don't post what I see.
I
I first
also
go and
didn't
do
post
research.
that,
So
yeah.
I didn't post the black square because then it came out that don't post the black square because there's people that are trying to restrict access to the movement. So they're posting black squares to mess up with the algorithm so people don't follow the actual Black Lives Matter movement. So that's the reason why I didn't engage. It's a simple example, but I didn't engage with something like that. If I see like the Mason Greenwood thing, before I even believed the story, I went to go do research. I went on to the Mail and Guardians, your EWN, Bloomberg. You check those stuff to see, is it true? And then I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
But I mean, upon just looking at somebody's post, you think that that's their lives,
Yeah.
that is how they live their lives. And I think we are easily deceived into believing everything and do you think it's a conditioning thing that happens? Cohen is a perfect example of how we've been conditioned to believe, because we're not conscious when we're on social media. Subconsciously, you're just scrolling through and that becomes your new algorithm in your brain. So do you think that we are already programmed?
I think so. I'll use this as an example that didn't happen too long ago with some political party, Green one. I'm not going to say their name, Patriotic Alliance. where they were actually going around in the area and looking at like these little shops, house shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And ENCA was with them, and it came out to say that they were being rude to the people, and they were assaulting
the foreign shop owners.
Yes,
that was the articles that all the headlines were.
100%.
PA assaults foreign shop owners.
Yes, 100%. And they went live the whole time while they were doing this. So if you actually watch the live, you would actually see how it was done.
Yes.
They would literally go in, ask, are you the shop owner?
Yes.
If they say no, they say, okay, could we please speak to the shop owner? Then he'll go out, he'll go get the shop owner, he'll come back, he'll ask, okay, we're not here we just would like to check in the shop to see if your goods are expired or not.
Yes.
And we'd like to see documentation that this is your shop and documentation that you're allowed in the country.
Yeah.
And if they couldn't provide it, they literally gave them a time. They said, okay, next week, this time we'll be back. If you could please provide us with that documentation, we'll really appreciate it and all that. Whereas
Then
if
you
you
can
watch
continue.
it on, when you watch it on the ENCA, it's like, yo, they
Violence
literally changed this
erupts
whole
as-
thing now. It looks like a whole messy situation that
Oh,
happened.
dang.
And it's like, how? And in that live, you can actually see the ENCA guys with them.
Yes.
That's actually recording, and they actually make mention to say that's the ENCA, that's following us, whatnot. And then when you watch it on the news, it's like, you changed this whole thing
Doesn't
around
happen
to
that
make to make it sound like they were being violent and assaulting the people, and that wasn't even the case. And it's like, the news can change things to benefit them. And it's like when Gaitan was on the show, he said literally, when you do something wrong, the news, they
goes
all
viral.
over it.
Yeah.
Once you start doing things right,
They don't want to cover
they don't
it.
want to cover it.
Or they twist the
Or
story.
they twist the story. And that's how he said there was a big event coming up. And he made a statement to his people to say, when I come out here, I'm just going to say something
to
just
get
to
the
just get them
news.
the media attention. I'm going to say something I don't mean, just to get the news. And he says when he said that, the news was all over it. So, and people take it in. If you don't watch the live and ask questions, you're going to just think, those people is catching on nonsense.
Yeah.
How can I vote for something like this where they...
But don't you think, because the mainstream media has become this beast that just spews whatever they say, that bad news travels faster, right?
100%.
And bad news sells faster than good news. So do you think that as a result of social media, mainstream media is now feeling the pressure to become, because they were supposed to be, mainstream media is supposed, journalism is about
fair.
being unbiased, reporting truth and reporting
not
fairly.
discrimination.
So now they run the risk. That's the reason why even mainstream media, like your news outlets and like your mainstream news outlets and broadcasters, they had to now reinvent themselves. So you'll see that even on radio stations, most of them now have podcasts and most of them have
YouTube as well.
apps. So EWN has an app and they've got YouTube, and because they realize now we're losing ground because we've got
access so easily in our hand.
Yes, we've got some uncertified journalists that are doing our job for us. because they're reporting on the news as it happens.
Yeah.
That's one
And
of
they're
the
giving
news stations.
both sides of the story.
Yes. So they, like you were saying, now the other day when you were driving there in Eldos and there was a shoot, there was a like a shootout happening, and then your passengers got out and started recording the fight, because you're getting two sides. They were gonna say gangsterism erupts in El Dorado Park. They were gonna make it. They were going to blow it up into something that it's not. So what they're doing is they say that they're reporting fairly, but obviously they're doing it with an agenda.
Yeah.
So the way that they word their stuff, but now social media is putting them under pressure to say, hey, Baba, that is not what happened. Here's the video. There wasn't gangsterism. There was a fight between
Just two random
civilians
people.
that I don't know what it was, probably road rage or something like that. And then they
Which
fought.
could have happened anywhere.
Exactly. So I think that social media also can make or break society.
True.
It's got its pros and it's got its cons. But what would your advice be to our viewers who are watching, and even to ourselves, because at this point in time we're giving ourselves.
Yeah.
We are learning things
Yeah.
from other people. It's a completely new world for us. What advice would you give to ourselves and to our viewers, somebody who is watching, with regards to controlling your social media presence and your behavior on social media?
I think the first thing I'll say is, as social media influencers, the first thing they like to do is they like to just get on the bandwagon. They like to get on the bandwagon. So you'll see something and you'll automatically go and comment and share and say your say on that story.
Yes.
Instead, take the information in, do a bit of research on it. And then if you find, okay, this is true and it goes with the research that I've done, then go ahead and post as much as you like to.
So
but
you're basically saying make an informed decision
yes,
when you post.
Yeah, don't just go and post randomly because you see other people is following this, if I can say this, trend, because that's what it's become. It's become a trend.
Yeah.
I just want to be seen now. Because everyone's on this trend, I want to jump on this trend as well.
Especially with the ladies that come out like with these accusations against the guys with GBV and the sexual assault and those
and
kinds
a lot
of
of the
things.
times it's true, and there's a lot of times when it's also not true.
Yes.
But you already tarnish this person's name.
And the ladies love to jump on every lady that posts about a deadbeat man, you know, without knowing the facts. Then they just
100%. 100%. So that's my main advice, to say, don't just jump on everything. First, do research, question, and try and look at both sides of a story, because as much as this one says this, there's a story on this side as well.
yes.
So try and balance out, look at both sides of the story and see, okay, is this true? And if you find out it is true, then by all means go ahead and post as much as you want to. But
also
first make a decision to say, can I?
Like not restrict yourself, but choose what.
You wanna
Like they
post
say,
about.
choose your battles
Yeah.
wisely. You don't have to fight every battle. Like for instance, if there is like a story that comes up, you don't have to post it or repost it, or choose your battles wisely. Choose what you engage with wisely. Choose what you comment on wisely, because people will come back and say, but you said. If that, say for instance, there's an alleged abuse case or whatever, and you just commenting and you just bashing the accuser, the accused, and you just bashing the accused and you siding with the alleged victim, what happens is people will screen grab that, and when the truth comes out, they're going to be like, but you said this, you got involved. Then you end up, it had nothing to do with you. You end up being the one with the short end of the stick.
Like with the whole Travis Scott thing, when I saw it at first, I'm like, ish, this guy. But then I sat back and I'm like, okay, there's two sides to a story. Let's hear him out also and see what the situation is. Then we'll make our decision from there.
Yes.
And then we'll decide if it was him or if it wasn't him.
Yes.
Not just going straight at him saying, let's first get our information.
But at least people are open to that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not just shut the guy down instantly or immediately.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how it has to be nowadays, bro. You can't just shut someone out.
No.
Because then it comes out that nothing actually happened, and now you already shut the person out. And now this person's innocent, his name is already ruined, he can't get a job anymore.
Hey.
He's got cancelled.
Hey.
For nothing. He didn't do anything. Someone just said something, and he probably wasn't even there when it happened or something. And then, but I'm not saying Trevor Scott. I'm just saying in general.
In general.
And I mean, the danger with social media is that people can get paid to tarnish your name. So you can get paid comments like bots that would just like spew crap about you.
Can I just quickly go?
Yes, go into the comments, please.
I'm sorry if I butcher your name, but I think it's Juan.
Yeah.
Good morning, my people. Enjoying the show. Great
Thank
discussion.
you, Juan. Thank you so
and then
much.
Karen van der Merwe says, true. I think that was on the PA thing. And then Keegan. What's up, Keegan? Good to see you again.
Keegan. Shout out.
There's a law coming for these false social media posts.
You forgot
but
the one,
on that
one
side
comment,
also,
bro.
where?
Kunamba.
Aye, man. Aye. Some Russian thing there. I think the law could be a good thing and a bad thing. Because at the same time, how do you know what is false?
That's the thing.
Because...
How do you determine what is false if the law can't even uphold
their own...
themselves?
Their own things that they're catching on.
Yes.
I mean, you have Zondo Commission. No one's been arrested yet from the whole Zondo Commission, but we spent over $1 billion on it already.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out information.
Maybe we should have a social media jury.
We should.
For that Zondo Commission. for state capture. A social media jury on state capture. Because it seems like the civilians are doing the work. And that's the reason why we get these mistaken, these politicians like Gaten McKenzie, who are businessmen turned politicians, because the politicians are not doing their jobs.
Like for me,
and I feel that's what civilians feel is what's happening with the legal system, with the law.
Whole Zondo Commission thing, I feel like it's there to capture the frauds and all that thing. But how can you capture the frauds if you are a whole fraud in yourself? It doesn't make sense. It's like a fraud is capturing a fraud.
Hey, the Bible
how am I
says,
going to capture a fraud? That's why no one's been arrested.
Take the log out of your own eye before you take the splint out of others.
And then
we need someone that doesn't have a log in their eye.
And then they release that thing of how much they spend on the building just to hire a Bruh, Zondo Commission is literally that old the thing behind them with the people sitting here questioning someone. And then they go and spend about 50 million on a building or something just for that. We can do it in our house. It's literally a cloth behind them with a table and them sitting.
It's true.
It's like, come on.
But they must pay for catering and the things and stuff.
They money laundering in themselves. They use us on the commission to start money launder and stuff. I'm telling you, this thing is there.
For you, Jay, any advice?
Yeah, the whole getting back to the whole social media thing before Jeffrey went on a rampage.
That's what the Whensday Warm-Up is about. Onze bors is warm.
Nah, but it's all good. I think for me, personally, is you don't have to post everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to post everything on a daily. I know the saying goes, if it's not posted, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Something
if it's
like
not
that.
on Facebook or if it's not on Instagram, it didn't happen.
Yeah, but yeah, on saying that, for me, there's some moments and so forth on that you can savor for yourself.
Yeah.
I did this. We went there. We went out here. We did that. And you savor those moments for yourself. You take it in for you alone. You don't have to post it to the world and to everyone. So for me, it's that. Just don't post all the time.
Yeah. Limit yourself. Put a restriction up there is what you're basically saying. Like, be disciplined in not feeling pressure to constantly have to post. Because it can land you in hot water.
But that's because I'm sorry, because the danger of posting on a daily and obviously reaching a certain amount of views and likes is that now what's next? Because you're far,
take it higher now.
And that's hence the Logan Paul situation.
And that's exactly what
because it's like, we used to seeing your cars and your house now. What more can you do? What more can you show us? And
we used to seeing his brother burn couches in empty pools and those kinds of things.
But
it becomes, it runs
that
bored.
was the brother's thing, though. He knew people who talk about it and it to create this whole big thing. and people were gonna want to watch and
Controversy.
see, what it is that he's doing. That was his way of becoming famous, catching on nonsense so people can talk about him, even though it's negative. He knew literally negative things travel faster than what positive things.
And that's why Jake, bro, he thought to himself, or he said to himself, yo, I'm gonna rather do the boxing because there's so much pressure when it comes to the vlogs and the vlogging and so forth on. Let me do boxing. This stays hyped up.
Yeah. So that's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for an awesome show, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I wanted to call Mr. Miller. I was gonna say, like, guys, let us FaceTime Mr. Miller or WhatsApp call him, video call him, but we've run out of time. Next week we will do that. But thank you so much for tuning in once again. To the people who are in our live chat, Juan, Kaylin, and Keegan, we see you. We appreciate you. We thank you, and we pray that you have a lovely, lovely week further.
Yes.
Until next week, Wednesday, with the Whensday Warm-Up crew. Bye!
Hey!